So you're trying to build up your credit, but you don't know where to apply or what accounts to apply for. I'm going to give you 3 options, and I'm also going to give you an option that has guaranteed approval for $5,000 credit limit. Coming up. Hey everybody, this is Will Frazier, your credit expert, bringing you credit tips to help get your credit score up, because what goes down must come up. And today we're going to be talking about credit cards to build up your credit, what options to pick, what options are the best, and where you need to go to find them. Now, a lot of people are trying to build up their credit scores because they're trying to get that house for their family, they're trying to get a new car to replace the one that's messing up, or they're trying to start a business, or maybe you just want to have good credit. Either way it goes, I'm going to give you some options to help you out on building up your credit score. Now, some important things that you want to know before I get into that are, first and foremost, you want a credit card that is going to report to all 3 credit bureaus. Now, all accounts do not report to all 3 credit bureaus, and if a company does not do that, you cannot force them to report it to all 3 bureaus. So you have to know where to go in order to get an account that's going to report to all 3 bureaus. Now, the reason why this helps you is because if you're trying to get a house, they're going to check all 3 credit bureaus. So you want all 3 of your scores to get the benefit of any account that you get, including this credit card. Now, other than that, if you're not trying to get a house, anywhere that you apply for credit, they're usually going to check one credit bureau. And when they're checking that one credit bureau, you may not know which credit bureau they're going to check. And whichever one they check, you can persuade them to check a different one. So it's going to be in your best interest to have all 3 of your scores as high as possible, so that you don't have to worry about which score they're going to check or which bureau they're going to check. You can know that your score is at the max on each bureau. That way you can get approved with no worries. Another thing that's important is making sure you are trying to build up your credit using credit cards and not using loans. Now, there are specific reasons for that I won't get into in this video, but I will put a video up either here or here, and it'll show you why you should use a credit card versus a loan when you're trying to build up your credit. Now, another thing that you want to pay attention to is if the account is one that has relaxed requirements so that it's easier for a person with a low score to get approved, or if that account is no credit check or guaranteed approval, because all of these things are going to greatly help you, because if you can't get approved for the account, of course you can't build credit and start increasing your score. And now, another thing when it comes to applying for these cards, I want you to know that it is more important that you try to get approved for a card than to be concerned about the inquiry. Usually an inquiry may be about 5 points or so that it may take away from your score. In different instances, it can be a different point amount, but the inquiry is usually going to be so minuscule compared to the amount of points that you would get when you are approved for the credit card. So don't let an inquiry deter you from trying to apply for a card that will greatly help your credit score. Now, of course, a credit card is going to help a person that has no credit cards at all on their credit report the most, and it is also going to be very helpful to those who have credit cards but they're all pretty much maxed out. Adding that new credit card is going to add additional available credit on your credit report, so it's going to lower your overall credit utilization and it will help your score out. Now, those are the factors that you want to be paying attention to while you're trying to find accounts. All 3 of these accounts have been picked out by me because they fit the criteria for all of those things that I mentioned. They report to all 3 credit bureaus. They have either relaxed score requirements, they have guaranteed approval, or they have no credit check at all. So you don't have to worry too much about not being able to get any of these cards. You will be able to get at least one of the 3. And once you get it, it is going to report on your credit report. And one of them has an extremely high limit at $5,000. And we're going to get into that soon. So let's go over to the computer so I can show you. Hey everybody, we're here on the computer now, and you're going to see this web page that I created that has your 3 options for building credit. We have a secured credit card, a unsecured credit card, and a $5,000 line of credit with guaranteed approval. So to get started, we're going to go ahead and start off with this secured credit card option, and we'll save the $5,000 line of credit for last. So as you can see here, the Open Sky credit card is the secured credit card. There is no credit check to apply. So we're just gonna go through the steps that they have here. Very easy, very straightforward. Personal information, of course, first, last name, email address. Here they ask you for your actual address information. If you have a P.O. box, put your phone number in right here. Like I said, all pretty much straightforward. When it comes to the financial and security info, of course they want to know your income and your monthly housing payment, just like any other credit option. And they give you examples here, like this $35,000 annually and this $500 monthly housing payment. So that's just an example. Using this example, that is about 17%, because of course they would divide this annual up into by 12 to get you the monthly income amount, and they would of course divide your housing payment by that, and that totals out to be about 17%. Of course, anything under 25% is going to be really good, so keep that in mind. Now they're going to ask you if you rent, own, or if it's another situation, like if you live with your parents or if you are in some other type of situation like that. Social security number twice to confirm, ask you for your birthday. They ask you for a security word when you're having, so you can have a security question in case you were to forget your password when logging in. And then down here in the agreements, they explain details to you that are also important, like your annual percentage rate, which is in this situation 17.39. Now a lot of other credit cards usually are around the 20 to 25% range, so this isn't too bad. And if you are concerned about the interest rate, like a lot of people are, just keep this in mind. You only pay interest if your balance is held over 25 days. So if you pay off your balance within 25 days, you will not have to pay any interest at all. So that's always important, and I tell people that that's what you should be looking at, and not really what the interest rate is on a credit card, because you can avoid it. Now, as you can also see, there is a annual fee here, so $35 annually. A lot of credit cards like this, for people trying to build up their credit, do have annual fees, so you might have to get used to that while you're trying to build up credit. You'll be able to avoid that in the future once we get your credit score up. So they also have fees for cash advances, foreign transactions, late payments, return payments. So, you know, this is all usual stuff. There's also some other details and notices here, so of course take a look at that just to get more details on what's going on. Most people don't read it, but of course you should. And of course you agree to the terms and conditions, and then you move on to your security deposit. Now you can see here that they allow you to have anywhere from $200 to $3,000 as what you can put for your security deposit. It is a deposit. You are not spending money on this card out of the amount that you put. They're simply holding that money, and how much you give them to hold, that's how much your credit limit will be. Now I do tell people that higher credit limits are always better, but when you're doing secured cards, you have to tie up your money in order to do that. So on secured credit cards, I usually tell people at most try to be around $500 so that you don't tie up too much of your money, especially if you just don't have the freed up money on hand like that. Now if you can afford to do it, of course go ahead and go for a higher credit limit if you want to, but this is not one of those secure credit cards that will upgrade you or graduate you after your credit score comes up. So usually when that happens, instead of them closing the card and giving you a new credit card, in graduation situations they convert your card into a unsecured card and they just send you your money back. So with this, you would have to close the card in order to get your money back, and that is another reason why I say not to tie up too much money if you don't have it. Now if you are a person that has very low money right now and you're just trying to do something to start building up your credit, the good thing is you can start for as little as $200, whereas a lot of other places want you to have at minimum like $300 to $500. Now of course you figure out how much you're going to put down into that amount here. You're going to put in, again, first name, last name, and the card number and information that you want to use in order to get them that money. And then once you finish that, you'll hit I'll pay my security deposit today. Or if you would like to fund it at a later date, you can put it here. But of course, remember, if you can't fund it right now, you're going to have to wait until you fund it to get your actual credit card. And then you hit submit here, and then they'll give you your approval and send you your card. Now we're going to go back to the other options so we can see what else is available. Now here we have the unsecured credit card. You can see this is the milestone card over here. So you're going to get pre-qualified over here, which means you won't have to worry about a credit check while you're pre-qualifying yourself. But of course they will check your credit with a hard inquiry after you get through the pre-qualification, because they want to actually see your credit report before they give a final decision. And of course this one isn't a guaranteed approval, so they do want to check your information just to make sure everything is good to go. So of course I'm going to put some information in here, and I'm just going to put some fake info in, and now we're going to hit next. And then they ask you for your address information. You check here to agree, and then you hit pre-qualify now, and then they will let you know if you pre-qualify. If you don't pre-qualify, they will connect you with another company that they feel like may work with you, usually a secure credit card. So that is how this account works. And also they have information up here on the rates and the fees that they do charge. As you can see here, about 25% interest rate. As I mentioned, most other cards are 29% APR for cash advances and penalties. Now they have your other fees that they're gonna have here. So you know, this is a unsecured option though, so you don't have to put in any money in order to get a credit limit. But usually your limit on a card like this is going to be somewhere between $200, $300, maybe $500 that they'll give you depending on where your credit score is. And usually if you're applying for this type of account, you're probably in a low credit score state. So you know, that may be the limits that you'll see from them. So let's go ahead and jump back over here so we can take a look at the $5,000 line of credit guaranteed approval. And as you can see here, this is called the My Jewelers Club. Now let me explain how this works, because it is an alternative type of credit, but this option is way better for your credit than the other two options in my opinion. Now the reason for that is of course the $5,000 line of credit card that they're going to give you. And I'm going to show you how you apply for it, how it works, and I'm going to explain to you even more why it's a good account for you. Now, basically what you'll want to do, you can see here that they do have join now for only $99. So this is going to be connected to what I'm about to show you. So basically, this is a jewelry website. They sell jewelry on their website, and they approve people for credit in order to buy jewelry from their website. Now, they have several different options, whether you're male or female, so you can look through those options and see what is available to you. So what you want to do, whether you're getting this for yourself or for your girlfriend, or if you're just getting this for somebody that you don't like, just go ahead and find an item that's at least $100. And what we're going to do is we're going to click that option. This one's on sale, this $121. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add this to our cart. And now we have something that's a little bit over $100. We're going to do checkout now. And when you do that, it's going to say submit credit application. This is where you're going to actually apply for the credit that they're going to give you. So now as you can see here, the price in total is $121.40. Now that $99 to join that you saw, that is their annual fee. And pretty much all credit cards for introductory level where people are trying to build up credit, they're going to have some type of annual fee. This particular one is $100, which is more than some others, but again, they're also approving you for more money, way more money than all these other cards will do, unless you're doing a secure card where you're putting up your own money. So basically, that $99 is going to be added onto your balance once you fill in all this information. And again, it is general information: your gender, your birthday, your social address, your name, your physical address. There's going to have your phone number, driver's license, your previous address, your employer, previous employer. Again, they are asking for a little bit more information, like previous employer and previous address, because they are giving you a large line of credit and they are guaranteeing approval pretty much unless you have a bankruptcy or something like that. So you can you'll create your username and password here, put in your email, and you will get an inquiry from this one. But again, they do still guarantee the approval. Now, your balance will consist of this item's price as well as the $99 fee. but what they do is at checkout they will have you pay up to 50% of that total, which is the $99 plus the item that you had. So basically, as you can see here, 50% of this item is $60. They would add about $50 to that, because that would be 50% of that $99 fee. So it would be about $110 that I would pay at checkout, and then I would pay on the rest of the balance until I complete paying off that balance. So at the end of the day, what that ends up doing for me is, with a secure credit card, you may put down $200 and get a $200 limit. But with this account, you're putting down a little bit over $200, or you're paying that out of pocket, but you're actually getting an item instead of just giving a deposit, and you're getting a $5,000 limit for that same $200 that you would have given to a secured card just to have them to hold it and give you a credit limit for that same amount. So you get way more for the amount of money that is coming out of your pocket. You're actually getting something for the money, and you don't have to close this account in order to get that money back, and you actually have an item that you can use. Not only that, this reports to all 3 credit bureaus, which is going to help all 3 of your scores, especially if you're trying to get a house for your family. So that is very important, and the higher your credit limit, like I said, the better. It's easier for you to keep your credit utilization down with a higher credit limit compared to those credit cards where you have low credit limits, and it's very easy for you to go past that 30% credit utilization and then dropping your score. Not to mention, if you are a person that has a bunch of maxed out credit cards right now and they have low limits especially, you can get an account like this and it will actually increase your overall available credit, which will dramatically lower your credit utilization, which will help your credit score out a lot. So if you're having trouble getting down your credit card balances that you have now, getting a new account like this with a high credit limit will help override that and help relieve some of that pressure on your credit score. Now, this is a very quick way to do it, because if you apply for this account before the 23rd of any month, it will actually report by the 1st of the next month. So that will report very quickly and it will help you score tremendously. All of those reasons are why this account is a very, very good account to try to build up your credit, and this is why I recommend it to all of my customers. So that is going to do it for the 3 accounts that I have listed. Again, this link will be in the description of the video, where you'll be able to access this and be able to get to these accounts. And also, I'm going to put a card in the top right corner that'll lead you to another video I did that explains how to build up your credit score fast if you're trying to get a house. And now we're going to go back to the video. Okay, you guys, I hope you found that information very, very useful, and I hope you're able to apply it. Like I said, the link to those accounts is going to be in the description, so you can check that out and be able to try to see which one you're going to get, or get more than one if you need more than one credit card. If you have none, I would recommend a person getting up to at least 2 or 3 credit cards to help build up their credit. And if, in addition to trying to build up your credit score, you're also trying to work on your credit, I'm going to send you guys to a video that is going to explain to you how credit repair works and what you need to do to try to get good credit. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave a comment, or if you know of any other accounts that are good to apply for those with bad credit, please leave it down in the comments to help some other people that may be in need of that information. And of course, I can share that information with my clients and those that I run into. Thank you for sticking with me for this long in the video. I'll see you guys next time.